Hi, good evening. 'Tis I, Astrologer Penny Dix. Welcome to our weekly astrological forecast. And welcome to all. We've got Christine, Blue Heart, Simi, Jim, good morning. Shirley Murray, Shirley Mills, and Andy's off to play with the children. And what else have we got going on? And I've forgotten to put everything on. George is singing, opera singing. You can probably hear him while I put everything on Do Not Disturb. I forgot. Hello, Imagari. Hello from Northumberland. Have I put it on? Yes, I have. Yes. Right, everything's on Do Not Disturb. So for the next hour, we will not be disturbed, except by errant pussycats who are, well, I don't know. I've fed them. What else can I do? But they don't like me talking, not to them, but to you. So, Samantha Keats, hello. You're making the family's dinner. Sounds good to me. What time shall I be over? Give it about an hour. I'll be over. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Well, where are we? Yes, George, he is quite vocal. What's that, Jim? The sweetness of truth from Christine. Time for introspection for the sweetness of truth. What can I say about everything, the debacle that's going on the planet? Because hi Poonam, hi Laura Tripp, hi everyone. Where do we start? I mean, the UK is in a bit of a pickle. I would add to the list that probably the United States is in a bit of a pickle. And part of that has been caused by the rather naughty Epstein files. And I know I'm making a little bit of a sort of a humorous jest about it, but let me add, in no way do I underestimate the seriousness of what is contained in the Epstein files, or for that matter, the victims that suffered at the hands of an elite group of people who misused power and money in the most heinous or heinous way. And I think that's the best way to put it. So that is an ongoing Cosmic 3IA, hola, hola. And, you know, I think that it's a backdrop to everything that is going on at the moment on the world stage. And today in the United Kingdom, we had I think it's the chief of the head of staff at Downing Street, which is where the Prime Minister has his cabinet meetings and everything, has resigned because of the Peter Mandelson, formerly known as Lord Peter Mandelson debacle. And hello, Anke Larson. Hello, good to see you. Brenda Lee Lynch, hello, from Keene, New Hampshire. And Parry's here, and Patricia. Gosh, we've got a lot of lovely people here. What's happening in the astrology today? It's the 8th of February, and Venus, our planet of relationship, love, is actually squaring, which is quite challenging, Uranus. And we've been in this energy for a day or so, and it will last for a few more days. Hey, Kay Ulrich and Pollyann, hi, in New Brunswick. And oh, there's so many of you here. This is wonderful. Anyway, coming back to Venus square Uranus, because let's give you the headlines of Venus square Uranus. We've got to look at Venus, which is sudden shifts in relationships, freedom versus stability, unexpected attractions or separations, emotional detachment meets material security, and breaking cycles or patterns in relationship, maybe unexpectedly. However, there are some psychological benefits that can come with an awakening of the heart, a heart that perhaps has been closed. They're really singing. My cats are really singing. And liberation from old attachments. It's also the tension between independence and loyalty. So it's about us waking up within the discomfort and dis-ease of something that doesn't feel comfortable. But it's also about choosing authenticity over predictability. Hello, Liz the Iron Maiden. Oh gosh, we're all here. This is wonderful. So what's Christine saying? We all need to be within the hollow of an old tree. We need to hold the reins and look into the face of death, which is upon the earth. Enter the cave to hibernate, digest the year's experience. Well, of course, Christine, what you're describing is the move towards the build-up, towards the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which I have pre-recorded, and it will be up in the next day or so, maybe tomorrow. And, you know, it's a very interesting new moon. And I realized when I watched it back later this afternoon that I only probably touched the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more I could have said about that new moon. Anyway, maybe I will also do another video. I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's just think about Venus in Aquarius, squaring Uranus in Taurus. So it challenges us to balance emotional freedom with material stability. Because remember, Venus rules Taurus. Uranus rules Aquarius. So, okay, freedom disrupts comfort. And I can't remember whether I said this in a video or in a conversation with someone or on the lovely video I've now uploaded with the wonderful astrologer Penny Thornton, where we discuss in conversation looking at the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So do check that out. It's up on my channel now. And I'm sure we will have some more discussions about other planetary aspects. And hi, Liz the Iron Maiden. It's a grey day in Scotland. Oh dear. It was not too bad here. It's dark now because it's nighttime. So a square, and this particular square between Venus and Uranus, can feel like there's a change that cannot be ignored. There is something going on that we can't resist it. Hello, Janice Fitzpatrick. Oh, you've got a lovely sunset. And the days are getting longer. They are, aren't they? Thankfully. Now, apart from this Venus square Uranus, we don't have any, thankfully, be grateful, major astrological aspects this week. There's a couple of sextiles, and there's I think Chiron is making a sextile, and there's some little bits and pieces going on. And you know, we could also look at the fact that Chiron at the moment in Aries is conjunct Eris. So there's something here about the outpouring of people's depth of feeling and indignation against the injustices that perhaps are being uncovered as the Epstein files keep rolling out. And Chiron desperately looking for a way in to find the emotional healing for the wounds and the trauma that have been caused by this scandal, really, this major scandal of our generation or generations. We've not really had such a shocking situation for many a year, many a year. Liz, you had a good day today. That does make sense. But the last few days have been challenging, and it put a bit of a... Oh, it was your birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Liz. I think I did wish you happy birthday on one of the videos, because I think you mentioned it was your birthday. So I think I wrote a note saying happy birthday. But happy birthday. And, you know, solar returns are tricky things because they remind us that there's only one direction that time goes, and that's forwards. And as much as we might like to go back, if we think about the symbolism of Aries, where we're going to have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, Aries initiates. Saturn ensures there is no going back. And when we do get that exact magnitude of energy, I think we will feel a perceptible shift, even if it's just a profound moment of acknowledgement of the implications of the sort of a potential dawning of a new era that can come with this kind of conjunction. And it seems to be very hard to stay away from the conjunction, to not keep returning to it in the videos that we're doing around this time with this energy. And well, Christine, it's we can enter the safety of the cave, but bye, Cosmic 3IA, you've got visitors. Mwah, take care. Yeah, and the weather is messed up everywhere, Liz. But, you know, Christine, if we stay in the cave, are we, and this is just a question, are we burying our heads in the sand? It's not that, you know, sometimes we need to limit the amount of information that we take in. But if we're going to move forward into a new age, if you like, of personal self-awareness and personal responsibility, then we have to be well informed. So I think it's fine to go into the cave at times, but not to take up permanent residence there, if that makes sense. And Blue Heart, you're a Scorpio. Your boyfriend is a Capricorn. You had an argument yesterday because you feel he's not been putting much effort into the relationship. So you don't know what's going to happen. Oh, Blue Heart, my sweet, listen, it'll blow over. Remember, he's a Capricorn. Capricorns are very structured and diligent, and they're not always the best at displaying emotion. And maybe what you have to do is look at what it is or why you need the reassurance. Is it about something deeper that you're sensing in the relationship? Or is it actually not really anything to do with him, and you actually having an inner conflict with a part of yourself that is unable to nurture you or validate you in the best way? So it's just something to think about. So what else can I say about Saturn and about the Venus-Uranus square? Uranus, we know, is disruption, and we're certainly seeing that. Squares are friction, and Aquarius, Taurus, which is where Venus is, it's fixed signs. So you've got this resistance to change. Now, who was I talking to? Blue Heart, You're talking about being a Scorpio. Scorpio, you see, you're fixed energy, and your boyfriend is cardinal. He wants to initiate. Let him take the lead. Just take a step back. And, you know, sometimes when we just let go, because if there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that men get very uncomfortable around needy women. Am I right or am I right, guys? You know, it'll be probably everything about you and not a lot about him. That's what I'm suggesting. So, Liz, you're saying you're liking the chat. I'm glad. And I think you're all having a good chat in the chat, a good chat in the chat, which is great. So the only other significant thing that is happening this week is that, only significant thing, it's a massive, big thing, because on Saturday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, Saturn will enter Aries. And so they're together, bar a few minutes. So Neptune and Saturn will be together on Saturday. And I think we do need to think about what Saturn represents. And, you know, Aries rules the body. Saturn can bring in strain, fatigue, make us feel like we're in an endurance test. And Saturn is striving all the time to evolve, but we don't evolve, or striving to encourage us to evolve. But we only evolve once we've, as Jim talks about it, done the work and been to the chop and carry and recognize that the lesson doesn't change until we've learnt it. Once we've learnt the lesson, it doesn't change. Hi, the star. I'm very good, thank you. I've had quite a busy day because I've been busy videoing, so it's been a busy day. So Saturn in Aries, we need to think about this energy because Saturn doesn't reward speed. And remember, Aries is, whoa, here we go, let's go. But what Saturn does do is it rewards right action at the right time. And we've got Natasha here. You've got Pisces, Sun and Moon. So you've had Saturn in your sign and your Taurus rising. So you've had Uranus too. You've had such a hard few years. Of course, my love, you have. Well, I hope you've learnt the lessons that were your personal lessons that Saturn has been trying to instruct you with, because then you will notice a massive sense of relief once Saturn has left your sign, and also once Uranus moves into Gemini. That's going to also make a big difference for you at the end of April. So hang on in there, Natasha. It won't take much longer. Imaguari, Venus square Uranus is revolution through love. Do you know, that's a wonderful interpretation. I love that. I really love that. Venus square Uranus, revolution through love. That's like we had, well, I don't remember because I was too young, but in the 60s, we had that kind of revolution through love. That's beautiful description. And Christine, many have called the cave space a place of inner knowing. It's a dream lodge where the death of illusion or physical reality overlays the expansiveness of eternity. Again, that is a beautiful description of that going within. But all I'm saying is we shouldn't take up residence there because we have to live here, in the here and now, in this reality. It's where we are. It is where we are. So with Saturn returning to Aries, we're likely to revisit things like authority versus autonomy, intervening in something or showing restraint. And if we're not careful, because it's Aries, Mars rules Aries, so we're constantly, going, burnout, because we're constantly doing. So it's important with Saturn in Aries to also be at the moment. Okay, just for the winter, Christine. Yeah, okay. Christine's going to stay in her cave for winter, and why not? A bit of hibernation doesn't hurt anyone. I think there's also, with Saturn in Aries, there's something about the legal and moral limits that have to do with leadership, which of course is what we're seeing with what's happening in the United Kingdom's politics, potentially what is unfolding in the United States, and probably, and so on, what is happening in most of our difficult areas of the planet. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time telling you a story, because there is not a huge amount of astrology to talk about this week, but I have a story which I think helps us understand this Venus square Uranus energy, because it's about love and independence, where they can fall out of balance. So this might be helpful for Blue Heart, I think. Was it Blue Heart? It was you, I think, my love, I was talking to, wasn't it? So this might be helpful for you, because what I'm going to retell you the story of is the story of Narcissus and Echo. Now, if you don't know about, you all know about Narcissus, but you may not actually know the story, and you may not know about Echo, who was the nymph who fell in love with him. And we need to just find out what was going on. So let me find my storytelling. Here we go. Okay, so are we sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Certain people know that by association, karma and maybe the law will hold them accountable. I think that's absolutely right. Yes, absolutely. And you've got Sun in Pisces, but Moon in Aries. So here we go again, Imagari. Listen, it's just grist to the mill. It's learning. Embrace it. Just go, wow. It's better than having nothing going on, because then nothing happens and we get bored. And when we're bored, we perhaps eat too much, and that's not helpful. So Christine's in her dream lodge is where our ancestors sit in council and advise us regarding alternative pathways that lead to our goals. Yes, Poonam, it is love story time. So this is the story about, Narcissus. Once upon a time, long ago, there was a young man named Narcissus. He was renowned for his beauty. People admired him wherever he went. But Narcissus believed no one was worthy of his attention. He rejected kindness. No, thanks. No, I'm good, thanks. He rejected friendship. No, I don't need anyone. He rejected love, convinced of his own superiority. Well, one day whilst walking in the forest, he came upon a still pool of water. When he leaned over to drink, he saw a face of extraordinary beauty staring back at him. He did not realize it was his own reflection. Captivated, Narcissus could not leave. He tried to touch the face, but the water rippled and the image kept disappearing. When the surface stilled, the face returned. He remained there gazing endlessly at himself, forgetting food, sleep, and the world around him. Eventually, he grew weak and died beside the pool. And in that place, a flower grew, the narcissus, bending its head towards the water. Now we need to weave in the story of Echo, just to get a sense of why I'm linking this story with this Venus-Uranus square. So the goddess Hera, she cursed Echo because Echo had been asked by Zeus, Hera's husband, to distract her, chattering away, wittering. So Echo was a bit of a witterer. And so that Zeus could escape and have his way with the numerous beautiful nymphs in the woodlands. So Hera was, when she found out, was extremely angry. And she cursed Echo. And so Echo was only able to repeat words. She could not come up with her own thoughts and ideas. So if we then retell the story, we get Echo, a forest nymph, once had a beautiful voice and loved conversation. But after angering Hera, she was cursed so that she could only repeat the last words spoken by others. She could no longer speak her own thoughts or feelings. And I want you to think at the back of this about relationships, and this may resonate with some of you, which are about codependency. So one day, Echo saw Narcissus, this young man of extraordinary beauty walking alone in the woods. Well, she fell in love with him instantly. But she couldn't speak to him because of her curse. And so when Narcissus called out, "Who's here?" Echo answered only, "Here, here." Encouraged, Narcissus said, "Well, come to me." And Echo replied, to me, and stepped forwards to embrace him. But Narcissus rejected her, saying he'd rather be alone than loved by her. Heartbroken, Echo fled into the mountains, and over time her body faded away until her voice remained, repeating the words of others. Later, Narcissus became entranced by his own reflection in a pool of water, unable to leave the image he loved but could never touch. He wasted away there, trapped by his own self-absorption. And so the forest held only a voice without a body, and a body without connection. This is something of the nature of the astrological symbolism of Venus square Uranus, because Venus represents the love, the connection, the attraction, the relationship, the value. Uranus represents detachment, independence, rejection of emotional expectation, sudden disruption, emotional distance. So Echo is like Venus distorted or squared, longing for connection, loss of self in love. inability to express true feelings. Narcissus is Uranus, detached, emotional separation, self-containment, refusal of intimacy, fascination with reflection rather than relationship. So the tragedy is not simply arrogance, it's the disconnection. Venus seeks relationship, Uranus seeks freedom. So when these two clash, it's attraction followed by rejection, emotional distance, relationships that cannot stabilize. The awakening comes through the painful realization, learning to love without losing oneself. And that is very echo Narcissus. So, you know, the lesson isn't simply that vanity is bad, because Narcissus, of course, has had a lot of press over the years, especially in recent years, where I think the word narcissism is bandied around in a form that shows a level of misunderstanding and misinterpretation of what narcissism is actually about, because narcissism actually shows up in people who are severely damaged by their, most probably their upbringing. They appear to be proud on the surface, but the constant need for ego validation, is this ringing any bells of world leaders? Shows us that they will never achieve that whilst they stay locked in this ego state. Let me see what you're saying. It is a love story, Jim, absolutely. The star, you're saying maybe it's a warning about misaligned Venus energy. Well, yes, I think it's about looking at all of that, because Parry, we all have to love ourselves before we can even imagine how to love another person. And you see, what happens here is that Narcissus can't love himself. He can love the person in the picture, in the mirror, in the pool, but he never knows himself. He never knows who he truly is. Patricia, Uranus through your sun sign Taurus has been brutal. Your rising sign is Aries. What can you expect from Saturn in Aries? You're hoping for creative enterprise and some financial ability, or maybe you mean stability. Patricia, I think that, Uranus can be brutal, but it's about moving with these energies rather than resisting them. And Saturn is a hard taskmaster. We have to do the lessons that Saturn is requiring of us, and we have to do them in the timing that it takes. This isn't about speedy growth or get rich quick or achieve quickly, because Saturn is about the depth of understanding that we can find through doing the lessons that Saturn gives us. Now, Saturn in Aries, if you remember what I was saying about Saturn in Aries, let me see, this is where I was talking about, authority versus autonomy. And if we're not careful, we get burnout because we're constantly doing. There's something here with Saturn in Aries about actually taking time out. But it's about being responsible for the self. Saturn is giving us a wonderful opportunity as it moves in to this first sign of the zodiac to think, okay, how and where can I begin again with looking after myself? How do I change assertively maybe behaviors that I've outgrown so that I can become more of my true, authentic self? And what's Parry saying? Do things that you love to do for success. And the star, you're saying Saturn does not seduce, Saturn withholds. It certainly does withhold until we've learned what Saturn is trying to teach us. It is all about the lesson. What's Jim saying? Narcissist interferes with others' own path to self-love. Yeah. Forces getting there the hard way. Yes, it forces us to get there the hard way. And if you've ever had a relationship with somebody that you realize is the narcissist, or you may be the narcissist and not realize you are, because the narcissist is probably just suffering from terrible inner ego self-doubt and desperately trying to validate him or herself and dying a death inside. That's an extreme of that kind of manifestation. But narcissism is a terrible personality disorder to carry. And it will display itself in ways that are destructive to others through, say, control, gaslighting, and also ultimately destructive to the self. Let me see who else is having a chat. Imaguri, the revolutionary act of loving ourselves. Absolutely, that's a beautiful way of looking at Uranus squared by Venus. The revolutionary act of loving ourselves. Narcissus didn't love himself. He couldn't love Echo. He couldn't love himself. He loved what he saw in the mirror. He never knew who he really was. And it's about the ego death, because one would like to think that once Narcissus had gone through that literal ego death, he actually grew up and became aware. Hello, Sue NB. Let me see. In conclusion, the relationship will collapse. Blue Heart, listen, my love. Do not be so negative. Is that what you want? Give it a chance. Are you caught in paranoia? Because, you know, if you're, it feels like you're forgetting that there are two of you in this relationship. The person you need to be talking to about this probably isn't here. So you need to be talking to this person about how you feel, because maybe you never show him who you truly are. And maybe you're too scared. I mean, I'll desist because I'll get carried away and it's not fair. But it doesn't have to be the way you see it. What has to collapse is the perhaps not good relationship you've got with yourself, or the lack of relationship you have with you. And I saw someone else here that I know, Leaves and Gears. You're trying to remove a narcissist from your home. It's looking like it's going to be a challenge. It is. It is. I think most of us have been there in some way, and it is hard work. And Brenda Lee Lynch, you've got your natal chart has Uranus conjunct Pluto in the 4th house, and Virgo, Venus is in the 12th house in Gemini. Oh, I don't think I can get my head around that, my love. You'll have to come for a session. Parry, money is the byproduct of the energies that you have given with passion and engagement. Yes, absolutely. And so you see, and we have to remember who Hera was, because Hera is the goddess that is married to Zeus, whom Echo talks to Hera, keeps her distracted so Zeus can go off and play with the other nymphs. Now, Hera is the goddess of marriage, queenship, and loyalty. So Echo really is actually, where are you, Blue Heart? Blue Heart, Echo is what's going on in you at the moment. You're not seeing the reality, I would suggest. Thank you, Poonam. Yes, please, like everyone. Hey, Brenda, you're going to be in Malta last week of February. Well, then email me and maybe we'll be able to meet up if you come to Gozo for the day. I'd love to see you. Christine, animal medicine card this week is bear. Oh, introspection. Bear, invite me into the cave where silence surrounds. The answers you gave. Yes, nice. Parry, blue heart, communication is the most important part of a healthy relationship between us all, with calmness and honesty. That is so true. And, you know, Saturn in Aries is about action, but it has to be justified. It can't be impulsive. And leadership is tested by restraint as much as courage. Because initiating change, which is what Aries is all about, carries karmic consequences. But we have to remember that Saturn also rules Capricorn. Therefore, it is actually a cardinal energy in the sense that it initiates. But it does so with strict rules and boundaries. So, Simi, you've pulled these tarot cards: the Fool, the Knight of Cups, Death card. There'll be a big spotlight on some leaders this week. I think that's a very, very good interpretation. Brenda, you're going to visit Goes on the 27th or 28th. I'll have to check my diary and see what I'm doing. Email me on the website and I'll email you back. I may only be able to manage a coffee, but hopefully I can manage something. I don't know what day it is. The Star, you like the animal medicine card, the bear, a natural extension to what I'm saying. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, thank you. Yes, email me, Brenda. I'd love to see you. Anyone who ever comes to Malta or Gozo, look me up. Of course you can. Just don't all come on the same day. I met someone last year, at the end of last year, lovely, oh my God, I've forgotten the name. It'll come to me. But she's a friend of mine here. And Danuta, that's it. Hi, Danuta, if you're watching. And Danuta and I had a lovely day together. So it was really good, really good fun. Well, it looks like you're all encouraging me to do you're fed up with the story and you want to get on to the fun bit, the tarot. Oh gosh, I love you all. Right, okay, so let's see what we're going to have here. Now, let's have a look, because now next Sunday when I do the live, we're going to have a little bit of a interesting week to talk about, because we will, of course, have the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is a powerful eclipse. So we will see what that is. Oh, good, Star. The story was significant. I'm so glad. So we're going to have that card. And, oh, that one wants to come out. Okay. And, oh, it's that one. Okay. Ooh. Oh, well, okay. Now, the first card I picked, make sure she or he isn't naked, is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords, you've pulled the Moon and the Lovers, Stormy. Okay. Oh, you love me. Oh, thank you, see me. I love you too. So I think there's going to be a lot of problems and obstacles that people are trying to ignore this week. Now, that might be on a personal level, but to me, this is more about what's happening on the world stage. I think there's going to be a general covering up of things, people just trying to sort of delay things, delay tactics. And because I can think of someone who's very good at that, produce another little incident so it takes the spotlight off, something else. So manipulating the news, I would say it is called. Blue Heart, you tried to communicate as best as you could, but you feel like the echo. Just hearing yourself, you don't know, hopefully he will value your feelings. Listen, my love, if he is worth his salt, he will be with you. If not, you deserve someone better. But look what we have here, the Ace of Cups. So we have some lovely change coming. And as Parry is saying, change is inevitable and constantly happening. And it's a process that enables us to improve our lives with new perspectives and insights. So true. So you see, Blue Heart, I would suggest you're being echo to your other half's Narcissus. So you might want to Google that story and read it a bit, read up on it. And you're watching live. Tracy, this is live. I'm live. It's supposed to be anyway. It says it on my computer. We're live. So Lenny, this is a pretty full month astrologically. Something happens every week. Ride the wave. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I think now this one I have to cover up their bits because we've got, hang on. We have the Lovers. Oops. There we go. We have the Lovers. How amazing is that? This is about some kind of commitment or union. So I would suggest that, hello, Mrs. Shan. We love you too. And Tracy, hello. Peace, absolutely. We need peace. And Tracy, hello. Like the pink hearts. So there's something, if you want to take this as a message, Blue Heart, okay, this could be, this could actually be that whatever you choose to do, ultimately, it will be right for you. That's what I want to say about that. So I think the Ace of Cups is wonderful because it's just such a card full of hope, I think, but not hope, of faith. I would actually say this is about faith. And what's Christine saying? You also had the grouse, sacred spiral, grouse of the sacred spiral, leading us on to reach everlasting heights where we can live as one. Look at the various qualities of movement within your world. Light overcomes the dark. Absolutely, it does. Jim, the spiral. Yes. Miss Awesomeness. Hello. Hello from Vancouver Island. Hello, Catherine. Oh, it's lovely. So many people here. This is lovely. I wonder if Saturn in Aries is going to teach us lessons about growing through delegation or the actionable power of delegation. That's a very interesting thought. I like that. I think we're going to have to learn about power. I think we're going to have to learn certainly about how we exert our power, whether it's personally or whether it's on the international stage. Oh, Miss Awesomeness, that's so sweet. You listen to every video. Bless you. Thank you. Oh, Tracy, you love tarot and you're new to the platform and you do tarot for you too. That's fabulous. It's mad powerful astrology right now. Oh, it most certainly is. And is 15th good day for travel? That's next Sunday, isn't it? Let me have a look. Let me see. where the moon is. Let me have a look. Bear with me. I won't be long. Okay, let me go into here and see what's happening on the 15th. So it'll be just after Saturn moves into Aries and just before the Sun squares Uranus. The moon enters Aquarius on the 15th. So is it a good day for travel? Well, let me just see what Uranus is doing. Uranus is squaring the Sun in Aquarius that day, and it's trining the moon. I would say, the only thing I would say is there could be some delays with travel, with air travel, because Uranus can be aviation. It could be due to weather. There could be weather events that... What about the black moon on February the 10th? I didn't know there was a black moon on February the 10th. Let me have a look. February the 10th. February the 10th. The moon enters Sagittarius on the 10th. And what's it doing? It's I'm not sure what you mean, Christine, about the black moon. You'll have to explain. And Jim, can you explain to me? I don't know. Panilla, you listen to every video. Oh wow, thank you. Oh, you're all so lovely. You really are. Listen, what's this about the black moon? You don't mean black moon Lilith, do you? Because the moon on the 10th will at some point be conjunct black moon Lilith, which is in Sagittarius. That's happens once a month. Once a month. So I don't particularly see anything significant about the 10th, to be quite honest, which is actually Sunday. That's Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday. What am I doing Tuesday? Let me think. I can't remember. No, I don't think I'm... no one's answering me. No one's telling me. Oh, Janice, your late husband's birthday is February the 14th, Valentine's Day. So is anyone doing anything nice for Valentine's? And the spiral. Jim or Christine, could you please explain about black moon and what you mean? Yes, Tracy, it can be when the moon is hidden, but I'm wondering why Christine is particularly picking up on it this month, because, it's the dark of the moon. So it's the dark of the moon. So the people retreat because the moon is the people. And maybe, I don't know. I think it means when the moon is hidden. Yeah. Okay. Christine, answer me. Okay, right. Well, I don't know. I do know. Let's see. The star. You're spending it with your dog, Cookie. What am I doing? I haven't really thought about it. Oh, I do know what I'm doing. I'm taking Spoticus, the final remaining pussycat, to the vet. I decided it was good energy. No, Shirley, no, not the 17th. You've got a new moon eclipse. No surgery. No. If you can do it the day before or the day after. Usually the rule of thumb is not on full moons or new moons. So traveling to the UK will be with family where their sister and niece, seeing your mum in a care home. Oh, bless you. Oh, that's lovely. And how are we doing for time? I think it's nearly time we brought this to a conclusion, because I'm in serious danger here of wittering a lot. And I think it's time that we brought things to a close. Now, what I do want to tell you, apart from the usual like, comment, and subscribe, is that check out the video I've done with the lovely astrologer Penny Thornton. So Oh, really, Simi? That's wonderful. She says, Penny, you are just so inspirational. You've gotten lots of great ideas for storylines. Woo! Thank you. Gosh, am I going to be in your books? I hope so. And yeah, check out my video with Penny Thornton. It's all about the Saturn Neptune, and I have to learn to interrupt a little bit more frequently because she's a powerful lady, and I was probably too polite, but I just need to just, you know, find my courage a bit, and just so next time I'll be prepared. Oh, you're very welcome, Jim. You are so welcome. What's Christine saying? It's about a feeling that people will have where some will think they are wrong and that others that think they're right will be wrong. Oh, Christine, that's a little bit deep for me on a Sunday night at this time at 1856. I'll have to think on that. Oh, you did enjoy it, Imagari, the video with Penny. And it is really funny now having a friend called Penny, you know. Yeah, she's lovely to follow. She really is. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I missed Titsil. Titsil, you're here, my love. And I missed it. You like my extra wittering. You're here for the wittering. Oh, dear. Yes. Well, in the next couple of days, I will put up, it might go up tomorrow, my new moon solar eclipse video, and special surprise with that, because, well, it's just a special surprise. You'll see when you watch it. Yes, thank you, Shirley. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, soul family. And Sil, it's so good to have you here. I have a soothing voice. Well, thank you, Brenda Lee. I appreciate that. Let me see what, yes, have a blessed week, everybody. And do I shine bright? Well, I do my best. Oh, you're going to get a surprise. You're going to get a surprise. We have just moved on, you know, centuries in my video production. You'll see. I'm going to keep quiet about it. Yes, everybody, soul fam, you are all wonderful. I am in danger of over-wittering, and you can't have too much of a good thing. We can't have too much wittering. And make sure the bears don't get you. And what else do we have to say? And don't let the dark moon get you. And stay informed. Don't bury your heads in the sand, because there is so much changing and we actually all need to be informed. It doesn't mean watching the news 24 hours a day. It just means staying informed and looking at the evidence that you're presented with, so that you can actually come to a well thought through understanding for you that resonates with your truth. So, Lenny, the cats are letting me know it's time for breakfast. The two new ones have learned about canned food. Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, have a lovely Valentine's Day, everybody, on the 14th. Yes, I'm going to take Spotticus to the vet. So hopefully that will all then be all 5 done. And then the next time will be when they fly away. So, right. Sue MB, yes, have a great week. I am in danger of wittering too much. Here we go. I'm going. But I love you all, and you're all awesome. And thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.